What's up, everybody? Young Muscle in the house once again. It's real late tonight, and I'm tired as hell. It was a long day, baby. We killed it at the gym today, and it was just a good day overall. But it's late at night, and I was actually talking to my dad on the phone, and I wanted to share a story with you guys. Okay, for me, the way that I look at food and the way that I look at my nutrition at this point, knowing what I know now and coming from where I came from, um, what I put in my body, guys, is something that I have, as strange as it may sound, is something that I have like an emotional connection to because I've developed, and I'm still developing and still learning because I'm always learning. Um, an intensified sense of self-respect for myself. So I feel whatever I put or don't put in my body is a reflection of the value that I place on my own self. You know, like mind, body, soul, and spirit. And it's just real funny because now, like fortunately at this point in my life, I'm a little bit better off than I have been actually ever at this point. Not saying that I'm rich or anything like that, but I can put a little higher quality of food on the table. And I could tell you guys something, it's made a huge difference and a huge impact in the way that I feel, the way that I look, and the way that I perform in the gym. And I feel like most people really overlook or don't really, what's the word, put enough value or gratitude on their ability to be able to consume certain types of food. And I'm gonna break this down for you guys. Listen, I've lived in good neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods, but for the majority of my life I've lived in like low income neighborhoods. And one of the things, I ain't trying to get political or anything like that with you guys, but one of the things, if any of you all out there have ever lived in the hood or lived in a low income neighborhood, probably the thing that I noticed right off the bat when I began my bodybuilding journey was the quality of health of the individuals that live in a low income neighborhood compared to those that live in a more affluent neighborhood. And then the second observation I made was the availability or lack thereof of resources in low income neighborhoods, aka healthy places to eat, healthy things to eat, good health care, all of these things. When I started bodybuilding, guys, it's not like a lot of these other guys, you know what I mean? Like I was watching videos of Jay Cutler talking about like how he got inspired because he opened up a magazine. All these guys got inspired because they opened up a magazine and saw some muscular dude and were like, God damn, or they saw Superman, wanted to be like Superman. For me, it was a lot different, guys, and I'm not going to get into all that. But one of the things, that's for another video, but one of the things that really um, attracted me to bodybuilding was that I felt I was no longer a victim because everybody where I lived, everybody, man, was either hooked on some sort of drug, sick, dying, or like just it was just like it just seemed like everybody had some sort of an issue, you know? And now that I live in Southern California and there's a lot more people, shit's like magnified 1,000 times over. And it's crazy because when I first moved here, I mean, when I still live in the east side over here, which is like, you know, kind of like the lower income Hispanic community. And it's crazy to see the disparities that exist between like these invisible lines and borders and like concentric circles and shit. That's some college terms for your ass because you already know I'm a college graduate. But anyways, um, so the thing that I noticed right off the bat, man, is the quality of foods that we have in low income communities. And I think this thing is so overlooked because we live in a country where it's like fucking backwards. Like where the poorest people are actually the fattest people. And then you think to yourself, like, what? Like, that doesn't even make humanly sense because generally in like third world countries or very poor countries, the poorest people are the ones who are starving and they even have swollen bellies because there's just not enough food to go around. But in the United States, it's kind of twisted. The people who are the poorest are the fattest and the most overweight. And the reason why is kind of like reversed. Like, I ain't getting into no conspiracy shit on this channel. But like, it's crazy because when you do live and shop and go to school and have a family and have kids in a low income community, you come to realize that the availability of healthy resources are pretty much non-existent. We got liquor stores in every corner. You know what I mean? The places to shop at, damn, that's all I can say. Like, I'll just give you guys an example. I first moved to Moreno Valley, all right? And to the people that know me, man, or people that know Mobile, like, I ain't talking shit about Mobile, but, I mean, shit's kind of hood, you know what I mean? And I'm coming from Northern California. The hood is nothing new to me, but Moreno Valley, I didn't know what the hell Moreno Valley was. I never heard of that in my life. The only place that I had to shop that was close by was this place called Superior. And like, I swear to God, my diet, I was on such, when I first moved here from Northern California, man, I moved here dead broke. No job, no money, no idea about college or what the hell I was going to do here to survive. Even though I had financial aid and stuff like that, I needed money to eat because I'm a bodybuilder. So eating is like, I need money for food, and gas and all that stuff. So I had to find a job. Long story short, man, my diet consisted of 3 things for a whole year and a half. This is the only money I had to spend. It was brown rice, chicken breast, and like ground beef. But damn, boy, the ground beef shit is like pink slime. And if you don't know what pink slime is, man, Google it. Because I was eating pink slime for like a year and a half. And it was kind of funny because every day that I would shop, usually I would shop on Wednesdays because that's when the chicken and beef would be on sale. It would be like freaking $1.79, $1.49 a pound. And that's cheap as fuck. And the reason why I was $1.49 is because shit was like pink slime. And it was funny because one of my homies, black homie, like he always, well, he wasn't like a homie, he's just a dude that I saw all the time. And he always shopped the days that I shopped. It was Wednesday, it's packed up in that store, man, because everybody knows shit's on sale every Wednesday. So like, I remember I'd always see him, and every time, man, he'd be he'd be grabbing his stomach, being like, damn, cuz my stomach hurt. He always complained about how bloated he was and how bad his stomach hurt. And he was actually dating like a Mexican chick. And then that day, man, like every week it seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse. His damn stomach aches. And then I never forget, man, it's so funny, man. He was like with his cousin or his brother or something. He's like, man, and he'd always have like a shopping list. And he was shopping for what his woman wanted him to get, because his woman's going to cook dinner or whatever. And because she's Hispanic, like she sent him to Superior Grocers or whatever, where the brown folks shop at. And then he was all like, man, cuz, he's like, man, I hate it when my girl make chorizo, cuz. I hate it when she make chorizo. Like, man, my stomach be hurting like a motherfucker. Like, and it was funny, dude. Like, he was just screaming in the store. And it's like every Wednesday, I guess she would make like chorizo, It's like, chorizo, cuz. Like, I hate that shit. The point I'm trying to make right here, guys, is that what you put in your body, what you choose to put in your body or choose not to put in your body is a reflection of the amount of value you hold over yourself. Because at this point, I've been bodybuilding for several years. I'm not deep in the game. I wouldn't consider myself a veteran to disrespect the true veterans of the sport. But I've been, very serious about it. Totally committed for, I'd say, about, 3 years. A little bit over 3 years. And at this point in the game, for me to even consider to do the things that I used to do, going out and partying, drinking, smoking weed, eating from all this nasty processed shit that I used to eat all the time, well, I didn't know any better. At this point, even the thought of considering doing some of that stuff like makes me sick, because there's no way I could bring myself to do that at this point in time. Not to say that, I'm never gonna have another drink in my life again, or I'm never gonna enjoy a fucking burger again. But to do that at the same, I guess, consistency that I did before I started bodybuilding, there's no way that I would do that now, because I have too much respect. Knowing now what I know that will only set me back. And the amount of respect that I have and love, it's not even respect, it's like love that I have for myself. I can't put that poison inside my body anymore. And I think the sad thing about growing up in a low income community is like now, like I'm still in a low income community, but I feel like my mind is no longer in the low income community. Physically, I am here, but it's only temporary. My mind is somewhere else. My mind is somewhere greater. And it's crazy to see and observe the activities they go on here, just going to the local supermarket, knowing now what I now know. Because everybody here is sick. Everybody here is suffering. Everybody here is overweight. Everybody here has some sort of a health issue. And it's crazy to me to see like the casualties, because that's what it is. And it's sad, like casualties that walk around every single day consuming poison. Like I go to the store and like, and especially for like black and Hispanic people, man, we get hit the hardest with this shit. Like, from everything from any type of disease or cancer or obesity, diabetes, all of these things, the worst of the worst, impacts our communities the most because the lack of money that we have in our communities. Like one out of two minorities born after the year 2000 are going to contract early onset diabetes. That's insane. But when you go to the stores and you see the options that we have here, what options do we got? We got these nasty ass ghetto ass supermarkets. And for us, that's like high class because we got a liquor store in every corner. We got a drug dealer in every corner trying to sell us some drugs. We got a freaking gun dealer on every corner trying to sell us a gun to go kill somebody else that looks like us or to kill ourselves. We got all this poison like surrounding us on a daily basis. And even going to the store, we ain't got no like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or natural markets or organic markets. In the hood, like who would open a Whole Foods, in the middle of, in the middle of the ghetto? No one would. That would be like a joke. If you went to the director of Whole Foods and you're like, hey man, I got a real good business proposition. We gonna open a Whole Foods in the middle of the ghetto. He's gonna be, hell no, man. Those motherfuckers can't afford that shit. Why? We're gonna put this in a nice area where people got money and care about their damn health. You know what I mean? And it's sad because even if there was like an organic, really healthy, like nutritional store in the hood, we wouldn't be shopping there because we can't even afford it. And it's sad because the way that we've come to look at health as like low income people or whatever of any race is like it's not even a priority because a lot of times, man, we don't even know if we gonna pay bills to be able to sleep in the damn apartment tonight. We tripping about the bills all the time. We don't even know if we're gonna live, for the next week. Like we might get robbed or jumped or, killed or shot. So it's like it's not something that you consciously think about, and you're at work for 12 hours in a day. So to the people who are fortunate enough to be able to afford good, wholesome, quality food, like to me, man, it's like that's a blessing. So realize what you have because they're like nutrition is like godly and like for real. And it's weird, you know what I mean? Because like when I think about it, I get emotional because I know how many starving people there are around the world. My family, my dad, like my family's from El Salvador. They were all starving growing up, you know what I mean? And that's something that I'm fortunately, never going to have to experience. Like, and when I talk about starving, I talk about starving for real. Not like going a day without eating. I'm talking about people are starving for real. And, now that I'm able to afford a little bit higher quality food, like every once in a while I could get me some ground bison, ground fed organic ground bison. I can get me some really nice, high quality, organic Greek yogurt and Ezekiel cereal, Ezekiel bread, Ezekiel whole wheat tortillas. I can get like free range chickens that aren't pumped full of hormones and poisons and toxins and steroids. I can buy grass fed ground beef every once in a while, and ground turkey. And like non-GMO vegetables or whatever, you know what I mean? And like to me, man, it's such a blessing and it's so beautiful to me. Like that's what it is. The word is beautiful, to be able to get this nutritious food that was made, you know, like by God, you know, like in the earth, you know, like this is a beautiful creation made for me to put in my body to gain strength. And I think about that when I go to the gym, like I really do, because I want to be able to fuel myself with the highest grade fuel I possibly can, because then it's going to translate into everything else I do in life. I'm going to perform better at my job. I'm going to study harder and concentrate harder in school. I'm gonna be a better, you know, like a better man in my relationships. I'm gonna feel better about myself. My workouts are gonna be better. My physique is gonna look better. I'm gonna be able to function better. You know, like it's like putting Supreme in the gas tank. I could, like I said before, baby, I could give you a Lamborghini. It's a beautiful car. But if I gave you 87 to put in that bitch every day, eventually it's not gonna run well anymore, and it's gonna kick and spit and break down. You gotta put Supreme in the gas tank, you know. So if someone gave you a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Bentley, a Maybach, a Bugatti today, man, because it's such a beautiful high performance vehicle, you would, that just that name associates itself with being associated with the highest grade. So you would get the highest grade fuel and you would put it in. But if you had like a little bucket ass Honda, you would be like, you know, like, or a bucket ass whatever, you'd be like, fuck it, I'm gonna put 87 because it's a piece of shit anyways. So I look at my body and what I put in my body the same way. You know, I don't look at myself like a little bucket piece of shit. I look at myself as a Bentley, Bugatti, goddamn, you know, all that shit. And I want to fuel myself with the highest fuel possible. And I know this is kind of a long video, guys, but like, I was just thinking about this today. You know what I mean? Because I ate pink slime for a damn year and a half, and I felt like shit. And it's crazy just like living here. You know, like I live in the East Side, Riverside community. And like, I'm not saying like it's the worst or anything like that, but it is a low income community. You know, come through here and you'll see what's up. And it's crazy to see the disparities that do exist. And so if you're able to fuel yourself with optimum fuel, baby, why wouldn't you? You know, take advantage of that. And if you're not in the position to be able to feed yourself or your family these types of foods, make it a priority somehow, some way. You're going to hustle and be able to provide the correct nutrition for your family, because it's a really important thing. Like, for real, it might not seem like something crazy important right now, but believe me, people, you're going to be happier and healthier, live longer, and just feel better inside. So until next time, baby, you already know what it is. That's why I say from the block to the top. A lot of you people don't know where that comes from, but this is part of where it comes from. So I just want to get that across to you guys. From the block to the top, I'll see you in the gym, baby.